Welcome back to Kushka Garage, everyone. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Today we're going to be changing out my old radiator for this new aluminum radiator in my 2001 LB7 Duramax GMC Sierra 3500 crew cab long bed dually. Let me get you turned around and show you what we're working with here. So I've actually had this aluminum radiator chilling in my garage for the past 3 years or so. It's a little more banged up than when I first got it, but shipping caused this, not me. I tried to bang it back out, use a little bit of heat, and it helped a little bit, but hopefully I can still create a nice seal. But otherwise, this is a direct replacement. You do have to reuse your transmission lines, and it boasts about 35 to 40% better cooling than an LB7 Duramax, or stock cooler for the LB7 Duramax. Kind of noisy outside, so I'll tell you why I'm doing this mod here. I don't have any holes or leaks or anything in my radiator, but as you guys are aware, the early Duramaxes, like an LB7, had they have undersized OEM radiators, which lead to overheating issues, as well as they have some clutch fan issues too. And I figured, since this is well, it's like a 24-year-old truck, 24 years old, and I have a YouTube channel, so I have a platform to show this stuff off, and I take this thing overlanding quite a bit, and it does get pretty hot, and the clutch fan is engaged quite a bit, which is horrible for the fuel mileage. And when you're out overlanding in places that don't have fuel stops, then you definitely want to work on that fuel mileage, and as well as just keeping your engine running nice and cool is going to be better for all of your oils and fluids, additives and stuff like that, and just better overall health for your engine. So it's a fairly expensive upgrade, at least the way I'm doing it. I went through Amazon, picked up a DNA radiator, and been a little gun shy to put in the aluminum radiators. I know some of you guys have way more experience with this stuff than I do, but I'm just worried about this stuff blowing up on me or leaking or getting stranded high and dry somewhere I don't want to be. But after reading the reviews from other people who have installed these DNA radiators and others just like it, I really don't have any reason not to install it, because they all get very positive reviews. There's actually some LB7 Duramax guys who've done the radiator swap and the electric fan conversion down in Texas with their LB7, and they pull on a regular basis, and they said it works fantastic, better than the stock setup, which is incredible. So that's what I'm hoping for, because I also got the conversion fan setup that I'm going to do on another episode. But first, I just want to make sure I can get this radiator in. And with the combination of aluminum radiator and the electric fans, I should have much better cooling capacity. Even if I just do the radiator, nothing else, it should keep that clutch fan from engaging more so than it does already in the summer months. And then with the elimination of the clutch fan, on average, some people are seeing about 3 miles per gallon extra, which is great, because that clutch fan kicks on while I'm driving up hills, and I got to really feed at the onions to get that boost up, because it does rob a lot of power, the clutch fan does. But anyways, let's go ahead and get to what we have to do here. Okay, so I already drained the coolant out. There's a peacock under there. You can get yourself something to catch all the fluid. We got to remove this inside shroud thing here so we can get to the lower radiator hose. Got to remove this shroud here so that we can remove this shroud. And that's all just these little pop rivet things. Use a screwdriver, use one of these guys. And then from there we got upper radiator hose, lower radiator hose, the overfill line, and then 2 of these transmission lines, and that's it. It's supposed to be more pop rivets holding their shrouds on, but there's 2 over here. It should be at least 2 over here. I think I'm missing like most of them, so whole truck's held together by duct tape and a prayer. So it should go a little speedier for me. I'm not sure if I got to remove the air intake to reach in there or not. I'm going to try to remove as little as possible to get it done. So I'm going to go ahead and set you up on the tripod here. And I'm just going to start popping these out, popping those out. If you don't know how to do this and you were watching the channel for the first time, go ahead and subscribe, because I've done this 1,000 times on the channel. There we go. Get rid of this damn boot. Possibly. Okay, kind of a pain in the ass, but I got it. Okay, we also got to get our thickum out of the way here. Got a 10 mil, a 10 mil. I don't know if there's anything down here. I don't know, let's see. I remember, it's been a few years since I've had to remove this thing. And is there even, there's not much holding on my shroud here, so it looks like we're supposed to have a bunch of either 10 mils or those little pop rivets. A couple down there, there's supposed to be a couple down there, but I got, looks like 2 10 mils holding on mine. Fix that or I won't, I don't know. Probably not, because I'm doing the conversion anyways. One of these days, this channel is going to be big and famous, and I'm going to have a freaking video guy. Yeah, this thing's all nice and caked up, so didn't really have a chance anyways, and it's all beat up, caked up. There's really no airflow. Anywho, I bet you if I just clean this out and ran it, would probably be just fine. Okay, go ahead and remove this guy and remove this guy. Okay, we got these little transmission lines here. This should just pop out, and then there's a clip. Let's see if I can position it in a way that's beneficial. Don't you lose your clips or anything, you got to reuse all this stuff. There's our clip. There. Clip this out. It should just wiggle out there. And we got one more. Try try to snake our pick in here. Oh yeah. Come on. Drop it. Dropped it in a place I can't freaking see it, of course. I think it's on the frame. Either way, let's try to get this thing out. Pop right out. There we go. And then there should be 2 bolts holding this thing together. Got one here. There's one right there. And I think that's one. There's definitely one right here. The other is probably down on the tab. And there's one right here and one on the bottom. And then we should be able just to pull this puppy out. And maybe I can fish out my clip that's down there somewhere. Okay, these are 13 millimeters. I think. Well, I don't know if I can hold this and do this at the same time. There's one. So I'm looking at a bolt right here. I think I gotta get, which means I gotta get this unit out of my way. So cold air intake, it's pretty easy. We'll take off this MAF sensor, probably disconnect it back here, and get this out of the way. And then we got a couple 10 mils, I believe, that need to come out. I think I only got 2, one here, one over there. So I'll pop this filter out as well. So that bolt doesn't want to come out, so I'm going to grind that out. It's just spinning in place. So one of the joys of living next to the ocean, I suppose. See that? Not sure. Yeah. The other two fit in tight spaces. Two. And okay. She's dirty. You want to know why this radiator is having a difficult time cooling? Because of that. Even though this is an old undersized radiator, I bet you I could clean this up here, put it back in, and it would be 1,000 times better. Or I can just put in this sweet brand new radiator that's already 1,000 times better. Just in case this one leaks though, I am going to clean this one up, store it, just in case I need to swap it back in. So next thing I got to do here, got to pull these, reinstall them on this guy. Alright, go ahead and reinstall your clips there before you drop it in. We're going to drop it in, bolt it in, and then plug it in. Alright, I had a little mishap here. I couldn't get that other hose clamp on to save my freaking life, so went to the hardware store, picked up a regular one. They're not as good because they don't expand and everything, but it's gonna have to do. Alright, now I'll try to snap these guys back in. They should just snap in like that. Put that back on. Because we got our clips in, should just snap on. Put our little keepers back on here. Put that guy back on. Okay, everything is put back together. Well enough, I suppose. So it's nice and solid. Still got our bleeder popped off so we can fill this up, bleed out all the air. Hopefully everything's on there nice and snug and doesn't leak. But I suppose we are about to find out. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this up. Well, she's running. She ain't leaking, and she's staying nice and cool. She's staying right around 180 or so. But that worked. And it wasn't a difficult job, really, besides fighting all the rusty bolts and shit that I had to fight with. But otherwise, I'd say 10 out of 10 would recommend so far. Critiques, well, it was perfect fitment. Some people bitch about the fact that the radiator is painted with an aluminum colored paint. That's a corrosive resistant paint from what I read, so you definitely want to keep that on there. Some people sanded it off, but I just keep it on there. The transmission stayed nice and cool, so that was a big bonus. Engine stayed cool. I did have to top it off with coolant after I got back, after I ripped it around a little bit, but that was about it. The pros of this radiator is it's relatively inexpensive. I'll go ahead and put a link at the bottom of the description there. And shipping was fast. And I don't know why I sat on it for 3 years. I should have installed it right when I got it, but I was a little gun shy about aluminum radiators. But so far, so good. And that old radiator, even after I hosed it off, it was still pretty bad. So I'm glad I switched it out. I'll keep it around for a little bit, but I think this new radiator will do just fine. Otherwise, I'm going to junk that old one. And if I'm that worried about it, I can always just get another radiator on deck. But that one was pretty clogged, so it's no wonder that my clutch fan was always engaged. Even when driving up to speed at like 55, 60 miles per hour, my clutch fan would just be rocking full blast. Bogging down the engine, killing my fuel mileage. So I suspect my fuel mileage will go up just a little bit because my clutch fan won't be engaged quite as aggressively when I'm on long trips. But in the meantime, though, radiator's holding strong, so I like it. I dig it. 10 out of 10 would recommend. I'm hoping this keeps the truck nice and cool and healthy, maybe boost my fuel mileage because it's not engaging that clutch fan as much, and I'm hoping that everything holds pressure, doesn't leak, doesn't blow up on me. But otherwise, fitment was nice. Installation was pretty easy. It was nice to be able to get in there and clean out my my intercooler while that radiator was out of there. So just even if you're not getting a brand new radiator and swapping it in, just for the experience of taking it out, cleaning your stack, and ensuring you got good airflow is going to make a huge difference if you're all clogged up like mine was. I swear, it looks like mine just like went through freaking mud. It was just so caked on there. Even when I was hosing it out, like there was barely any water going through the other side. And if there's barely any water going through, then there's definitely not really going to be any airflow. So it needed to happen one way or the other. But upgrading to aluminum radiator that boasts 35 to 40% better cooling is a added bonus. It being pure aluminum and no plastic anywhere makes it a little stronger as long as the welds hold. And I think it was a solid move. So I'm going to take this out to some camping trips, and I'm also going to head back to PO Dub and do 6 weeks of camping up in the mountains where I'm going to get it hot, push it to the test, and hopefully nothing blows up. So wish me luck, and I'll make a review sometime down the line, maybe even up on the mountains after I take it up somewhere where I normally get pretty hot. All right, guys, hope you found this entertaining. Hope it was educational for you. Hopefully it helped you out in some way, one way or another. Aluminum radiators, 2001 LB7 Duramax GMC Sierra 3500 crew cab long bed dually, baby. Let's get some.